Every year when we make our Not So Scary Halloween party video, we focus on pretty much everything you can do at this event except for the rides. And one question we get asked again and again is, what if we really want to do a whole bunch of rides when we're there at the party? Well, in tonight's video, we're going to share with you our best tips for riding the most rides without missing out on the best parts of Not So Scary. Let's go boo it! Hi ho everybody, this is Rob with Ear Scouts coming to you from the Magic Kingdom on the first night of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. This year we are focused on rides, but that doesn't mean we're going to miss out on the best parts of this event. We're going to make sure that we catch the Villain Spectacular, the Boo-to-You Halloween Parade, and of course we're also going to sneak in some treats here and there. But really our focus this year is showing you how you can get the most rides added in to your event evening. Last year, we started out by lining up for Jack and Sally outside. And if characters are a focus for you, you should definitely check out last year's video because we have a lot of tips in there. This year, however, we're going to start our night inside because we have that opportunity. If you have an annual pass or you have a day ticket and you're here inside the park, you definitely want to take advantage of that opportunity to get on rides really quickly before all the other folks have tapped in for the event. Now, if your goal, however, is to meet Jack and Sally, you probably want to be out front because those folks are going to be the first to make it into the Town Square Theater where Jack and Sally meet. But if, like us, you're going to start your day inside the park, there are multiple places where you can get your wristband, which you are going to need for the party tonight. The main place to get your wristband is going to be up at the front of the park, at the main entrance. There will be some entryways that are marked event entrance, so you can come in there. If you're inside the park already though, there are a few different spots where you can grab that wristband. In Tomorrowland, you can get your wristband over there near where Stitch's Great Escape used to be. It's kind of across from Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. In Fantasyland, you can get it over at the PhilharMagic Theater. And in Adventureland, you can grab it at what used to be Tortuga Tavern. It's basically right across from Pirates of the Caribbean. Before we go jump in line for our first attraction, however, I do want to share some important details about this event. So this is a paid ticketed event. Just because you have a ticket to be at Magic Kingdom on the day that this party happens doesn't mean you're allowed to stay for the party unless you have one of those tickets. That said, if you have a day ticket as well as a party ticket, this can be a great day to get a whole bunch of rides done during the day because lots of folks avoid coming to Magic Kingdom on a night when they're going to get kicked out at 6 p.m. and not be able to see a fireworks show. They'd rather come on a non-party night. So Magic Kingdom tends to be pretty slow on party days, and it's a great way to get a jump on a bunch of rides. But for this video, we're not going to start riding until right at 4 o'clock because that's when you're allowed to enter the park if you only have a Not So Scary ticket. The party is going to begin at 7 o'clock p.m., but as long as you have that Not So Scary ticket, you're welcome to go ahead and head inside at 4 p.m. At 6 p.m. is when they're going to start checking for those wristbands and kicking folks out of the park if they don't have a party ticket. So if you do have a party ticket, make sure you grab a wristband at one of those locations before it hits 6 o'clock. We still got a little bit of time before 4 o'clock, so we're going to go grab one of the treats that's available during the Halloween season that you can actually get all day long. You don't have to wait until the party. Let's head on over to Cheshire Cafe and try out the Queen of Hearts tart. If you find yourself with some time before the party officially starts, there's a few things that it's a great idea to do, and there are a few things that you definitely should wait for the party for. The first thing that it's a great idea to do, however, is try out any of the treats that you have on your list that are available before the party starts. This year, probably the most popular one is going to be the Queen of Hearts tart. It's going to be available here at Cheshire Cafe during the day, but once the party starts, it's going to move over to Storybook Treats. Important thing to note though, Storybook Treats is going to close a lot earlier than the party ends, so you do want to move this one to the early part of your evening if you want to give it a try. I will say we asked our Patreon family to pick which were the treats they were most excited to hear more about, and Queen of Hearts tart was the second most popular answer, so I'm looking forward to trying this one out as well. Wow. The crust is super buttery and delicious. It's got a really nice flaky texture to it. It's also got a nice punch of cherry flavor. The icing on top is just kind of adding a lot of extra sweet. For me, I think this would actually be a better treat without the icing on top. And then the fondant itself is pretty flavorless, but it's still really good. If you're a big fan of those Woody's Lunchbox tarts that they have over at Hollywood Studios, this is definitely something you should put on your list. I'm really impressed with the quality of the pastry, and the filling's pretty good too. Well, that was a nice treat, and right now it's actually 3:55. It's almost time for us to grab our wristband. So I want to talk about some of the other things that you should and should not do during this period of the party. Probably the biggest thing you should not do is go and ride any of the rides that are going to have special overlays during the party itself. Unless, of course, you just want to have the compare and contrast. But for me, I'd rather ride Space Mountain, the Mad Tea Party, Haunted Mansion, and Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor once the party starts, because that's when there's going to be something special going on there that I wouldn't be able to do any other time of the year. Now, since we're going to avoid those attractions, let's talk about maybe some attractions you'd want to consider doing instead. If you're a big fan of any of the shows that happen during the day, you definitely want to do those first because they're not going to be available during Not So Scary. PhilharMagic, the Country Bear Jamboree, and the Tiki Room are not going to be running during the party. The good news is pretty much every ride is going to be running during the party. I'm not sure about the Walt Disney World Railroad, but other than that, I think everything else is going to be running. We'll let you know later in this video if we run across anything else that isn't running. But the rides that I want to focus on first are either the ones that would have a really long wait later. The rides that are likely to have the longest wait during the party are going to be Tron and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, but you might find that those have a really long wait right now too. So I recommend check the app, look at the wait times. If you see something that has a surprisingly short wait time, go ahead and jump on it. The other thing you should think about, though, are which attractions take a really long time to ride. Rides like Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Cruise, and It's a Small World are some of the longest rides in this park. I would also put Tiana's Bayou Adventure in that group. Tiana's probably going to have a really long wait right now, though, because a lot of folks don't want to do that attraction after dark, because it's possible you're going to get really wet. So we're going to skip Tiana, and we're going to head into Adventureland first. We're going to start out with Pirates of the Caribbean and Jungle Cruise, because that's going to give us a really great head start on getting a bunch of rides done tonight during the party. Let's go do it. When we checked the wait times, we saw a 25-minute wait at Jungle Cruise and then only a 5-minute wait here at Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates, of course, is also right across from where we get our wristband, so I thought I'd check over there first and see if it would be easy to grab our band. Definitely not. It is still a really long line, so we're going to go do some attractions first because that line is absolutely going to get shorter as the night goes on. Let's hop on our first ride of the night, Pirates of the Caribbean, and then we'll see what that wristband line is looking like after. Pirates of the Caribbean, just under 10 minutes long. It's a very fun and lovely 10 minutes, and you should absolutely invest those 10 minutes of your time to ride it, but I think it's better to do it before the party if you can. So right now, Jungle Cruise has actually climbed up from 25 minutes to 40 minutes. The reason for that is because although the crowd levels are really low on a day like today, once the party folks start tapping in, getting their wristbands, they're going to do exactly what we're doing, which is hop on rides. And Jungle Cruise is one of the more popular ones. The good news, however, is as we get closer to 6 o'clock, a lot of these wait times are going to come down. And once the party starts, they're going to come down even further. So I do not recommend jumping in a 40-minute wait right now. Instead, take advantage of the shorter waits that you can do. especially if they're for longer rides. Although it would be nice to get Jungle Cruise done since we're right here next to it, we can actually just take a 5-minute walk over to It's a Small World, and that's another attraction that takes a long time to ride, and it's probably going to have a really short wait right now. Let's go find out. No Magic Kingdom Day is complete without a journey aboard the happiest cruise that ever set sail. I'm glad we were able to get that one done, and most importantly, I'm glad we got it done before the party because that one was over 15 minutes. The wait time was practically a walk-on, probably the same, if not a little bit longer than we would have found during the party. But again, the key is shifting these longer rides earlier so you're not burning up your precious party time. The next thing I want to do really quickly is go ahead and grab our wristbands because there's another stop where we can get our wristbands here in Fantasyland over at PhilharMagic. And I can peek over there already and see that it is a really short wait to do that. So I'm glad we didn't wait in that really long line over at Tortuga Tavern. Let's go grab our wristbands and head on to the next ride. Well, that was super quick and easy peasy. We got our wristband, we got our trick-or-treat bag with our very first treat inside. In case you're wondering, ghoulish green is kind of like caramel with a little matcha on the finish. It's important to note, even if you get your wristband up here, at some point early in your night, you're still gonna wanna make your way up to the front of the park because that main entrance is gonna have some special things that you can only experience up there, and they are gonna wrap that up pretty early, so that will not be going on during the entire party. You definitely have to do that earlier in your evening. But while we're here in Fantasyland, there's still a lot of stuff that we could do with shorter waits. Peter Pan right now has a pretty long wait. It was 45 minutes when I saw it, but the attractions over in Storybook Circus and New Fantasyland have much shorter waits. It's a 5-minute wait for Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. That one is not going to have a longer wait at any point tonight, but it is another one of those longer attractions. So I think we're going to go hop on that next, and then maybe we'll head into Storybook Circus on our way back to the front of the park.
Such a bird brain after all.
Barnstormer's got a 15-minute wait right now. That will definitely be a walk-on later tonight, so I think we're gonna skip that one because we do have one more attraction on my list that will have a very short wait that is also a really long ride, and that is the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. And as luck would have it, there's a shortcut right here beside the Barnstormer that takes you right into the heart of Tomorrowland. Well, that was pretty fast. In the time it took us to walk from Goofy's Barnstormer to the People Mover, the wait time increased from 10 minutes to 25 minutes. The good news is I can look at this line and see that it's a lot closer to 10 than it is to 25. The other thing that's important to note is we're almost at 6 o'clock. And once it hits 6 p.m., we're kind of in that no man's land where the park is closed, but the party hasn't started. And in many cases, that means Disney is not going to show wait times for any of the attractions. They're still going to be running, and as long as you have your wristband, they'll let you ride, but you won't be able to easily see on the app where the short waits are. So we're going to go ahead and hop on this one because I can tell it's not going to be too bad. This period right before the party's going to start is kind of volatile because if you're here as a day guest, they actually won't let you in some of the longer lines when it gets this close to the end of the day. Normally, when you're here at Magic Kingdom, you can get in line just seconds before the park closes, and they'll let you stay in line as long as it takes to ride that ride. But on party nights, where there's special events, sometimes the cast members won't let day guests into the lines that are long right before the end of the night. So do know that if you are day guests and you're not here for the party. But what that also means is that a lot of those folks get into the next nearest line. If they couldn't get in line for Tron, then maybe they get in line for the People Mover.
This is the TTA non-stop service around Tomorrowland.
Your journey has been temporarily delayed. For your safety, please remain seated. Thank you.
Well, that was pretty cool. We got a little bit of a delay there, but the good news was we got to see inside Space Mountain while they were working on it. That attraction has been on the struggle bus for the last few days. In fact, when we came in, there was an apology in the app that Space Mountain was not available and that they were working to get it available. I'd say the fact that the train was running was a good sign that maybe we're going to be able to ride that one tonight. We are, however, in that netherworld that I mentioned because there are no wait times posted in the app, and probably we won't see them again until closer to the actual party starting. But this is actually a great opportunity for us to head up to the front of the park and do those things I was talking about. I'm hoping we'll be able to catch a photo with the Gravediggers, and I want to be up there anyway because there is a special treat at Casey's Corner that's going to start being available right when the party begins at 7. And as you can see, Casey's is my theme of the evening, so I gotta make it over there and try that treat. Let's head up to the front of the park and check out the main party entrance.
Do we have a volunteer? You know we have tombstones back here without a name on it. Let's give you one.
So if you see my cousins at the mansion, tell them I am still waiting for the apology that they owe me.
We are T-minus 15 minutes from the party actually starting, and once the party starts, there's a whole bunch of things that you can do that we can't do up until that moment. For instance, all of these special Halloween party treats become available right as the party starts at 7. All the different trick-or-treat locations open up at that time as well. There's some special entertainment offerings that'll start then, along with all of the special character meet and greets. Now, it's important to know Jack and Sally is the one meet and greet that pretty reliably will start right at 4 p.m. when you can get in, but most of the rest of the meet and greets, you shouldn't expect those to start until the party begins at 7. You definitely want to have a plan at this point, however, for when you're going to do the big party things of the night. That's going to be the Boo to You Halloween Parade, which happens at 8:15 and again at 11:15. There's the Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular, which is going to happen at 9:05, 10:35, and right at midnight. Also, if you're here in October, there's going to be an extra showing of that show that'll be at 7:35. And of course, there's Disney's Not So Spooky Spectacular. That is the big fireworks show, and there is only one chance to see that right at 10 p.m. What I recommend as you're making this plan, however, if the weather is iffy, like it is tonight, you should plan on seeing the first showing of all those different shows and parades. I will add that the benefit of the final showing of the Villain Spectacular is that it begins when the party ends. So you're essentially getting bonus time if you watch that. The other thing you could be doing, however, though, is waiting in line for an attraction that has one of the longest lines of the night, like Tron, and that's actually what I'm planning on us doing at the end of the night tonight. So we're not going to wait to see that final Villain Spectacular. But the bigger reason why we're not going to wait is because if it rains, all of these different entertainment offerings will either be modified or canceled. So if you want to make sure you get to see these shows, and this is your only chance to see it, you can't come on a regular Magic Kingdom day, you gotta have your party ticket. I recommend do those things first, so you have more chances to see it if the first one gets rained out. Since we're already up here at Main Street, I'm gonna hop into Casey's because I'm really excited to try the Headless Horseman Tart, which is a new item they have there this year. We're also gonna try some savory things tonight, but the real reason we're gonna start at Casey's is because when this is your Halloween costume, there's only one place to begin your party night. Let's head on over to Casey's Corner and try that new tart. Man, Casey did not disappoint with that tart. That was delicious. It had this really rich and tender crust. And there was pretty basic pumpkin pie filling on top of that. But what made it amazing, there was this layer of cream cheese icing, and then that pumpkin that you saw on top was a mousse. It almost had like a burnt caramel flavor to it, and it just added a richness to the whole thing. If you're a lover of pumpkin pie, that is a must get. I would say between that and the Queen of Hearts tart, it really just depends on what's more your vibe. Do you want a fall pumpkin flavor, or do you want something fruitier? But you really can't go wrong with either. Now that we've had a couple of sweets, I think it's time to move on to the main course. Naturally, after having a Headless Horseman tart, we had to make our next stop, Sleepy Hollow Refreshments. And I've already placed a mobile order, which I recommend you do if you want to save time in your night. We're gonna head over and pick up that food, and then we're gonna get back to riding rides. Sleepy Hollow is bringing the heat this year. Both of those dishes are super spicy. So there is a chicken and waffle dish that is served on a black waffle. I didn't read the description, so I was trying to figure out what the flavor of it was without reading. It, to me, just tasted super sweet, but I think that might have been some sort of a honey glaze that they put on top of it. It didn't have a distinctive flavor to me other than sweet. The chicken, on the other hand, had a very bold flavor of super mega spicy. I can still feel the heat in my mouth from that one. That's definitely only for the spice lovers in your group. If folks don't like their food extra spicy, I would say that's a definite skip. I wouldn't say it's worth taking time out of your party to get that one unless you're just a huge chicken and waffle fan and you like things extra spicy. Next up is the Dune Buggy dumplings. Now, this was the most requested thing from our Patreon family. Of all the new items, they wanted us to review this one the most. I'm sad to say it wasn't amazing. It was okay. I mean, it was a solid chicken dumpling, but it wasn't anything to write home about. The sauce that was on it was good, but not great. It had almost like a vinegar base to it. So it was kind of like a spicy and sour and a little bit sweet flavor. Not bad. Not something that I would say you should skip. If it's something that sounds really good to you, try it. But it's not one of my favorite dumpling dishes I've had here at Disney World. Right now, however, we need to jump on another ride before the parade, and as luck would have it, Jungle Cruise has a pretty short wait. So we're gonna go knock that one off of our list. We're about 30 minutes away from the parade beginning, so Eric decided instead of doing Jungle Cruise, he wanted to get a spot for the parade to get some good photos. If you want to get photos or videos of the parade, then yes, you should probably camp out for a better spot at least 30 minutes or more before the parade's gonna start. Some folks will start camping out an hour, hour and a half before. The thing is though, if you just want to enjoy the parade and you don't care about having the absolute best view, These parties are great because they're a reduced capacity event. It's easier to get a spot for this parade than it would be for the traditional parades that happen during the day, like Festival of Fantasy. So if your goal is to ride a whole bunch of rides, this time where it's close to the parade is a great time to find really short waits, because most people are there waiting on the parade. But we're gonna pull up at the last minute, and I'm guessing we'll be able to get a decent spot. This one is posted 15, but there is almost no line. I would say 5 minutes tops. The other great thing about riding rides during these parties is that there's no lightning lane. A lot of people ask if they can get lightning lane multipass on party days. You could if you had a day ticket, but just know it's gonna end at 6 p.m. and probably you're not gonna be able to book lightning lanes after 5:30. So if you're gonna be here all day, it could be worth it, but if you're just getting here shortly before the party, it's probably not worth the dollars for the short amount of time that you can use it. Plus, as you can see, once the party starts, you really don't need lightning lanes. You're gonna find the waits are plenty short.
Now, I have one question, one very important question for you all. Do y'all like waterfalls? Yeah, you do. Well, don't go chasing any. We're going to stick to the river that I'm used to instead, because we have a waterfall right over here for you. Now, this over here is Inspiration Falls. Everybody say, ooh. Everybody say, ah. Everybody say, Skipper Josh, you're amazing. We know, right? Now, this over here is our famous restaurant, Boats, Baits, and Bites, where we serve all kinds of fish. Now, I, of course, always recommend the piranha. Yeah, it's always good for a quick bite, if you ask me. Now, over here, we have a snake. It starts with the letter P. Any guesses as to what it's called? Any guesses? Plastic! Yeah, it's a plastic snake. It's a really rare species. It's made in China. Over here is our famous former Lost and Found, yet now it's known as our gift shop right over here. Our staff is kind of monkeying around as per usual, although they are holding a little bit of a brief sale, so I'd say go and check it out when you get a chance.
What a great jungle cruise. Skipper Josh was amazing. I'm telling you, that ride, it's all about the skipper. If you get an amazing skipper, it's gonna be a great time. And tonight was a great time. And we're actually right on time for another great time, which is the Mickey's Boo to You Halloween Parade. Eric actually got a perfect spot over near Diamond Horseshoe. Now that's kind of at the border of Frontierland and Liberty Square. What's great about that is this parade begins in Frontierland. So if you were to watch it over on Main Street or in front of the castle, while yes, you would get beautiful views, potentially with the castle or Main Street behind the parade, the downside is you have to wait a long time for that parade to get to you. And those of us who watch from Frontierland, we're gonna be in line for our next ride before the parade even gets to Main Street. So if your goal is to do rides, this is the place to watch the parade from. Let's go see if we can grab a spot near Eric in Frontierland and catch the show. We definitely cut that one a little bit close. I would say if you're not really tall, you probably wanted to be in that spot well before we were. Another thing I will mention, if you go to the second parade, it's much easier to find a spot because so many people do go to this first one. My next tip is be careful of jumping straight to those rides that are right on the parade route because everybody's going to Haunted Mansion. Everyone's going to Tiana and Big Thunder. If you do something else first and then go back over to those, you will oftentimes find that the weights have gone down a bit. We're going to go ahead really quickly and try to do Peter Pan's Flight. It's a posted 20, but it doesn't look like 20. So I'm hoping we're going to get on and off of this in time to see the Villain Spectacular. That, my friends, was a bad call. Probably should not have done Peter Pan's Flight at that moment. It was a posted 20-minute wait, and it was right at 20 minutes. So we've just missed the beginning of the Villain Spectacular. But the real reason that was a bad call, and I kind of knew it as soon as I got in the queue, I was like, Rob, you should have waited to do Peter Pan's Flight, because really, here in Fantasyland, the target demographic is going to be in bed later in the evening. So if we had come through here later, we would have had walk-ons for everything through here. The problem we were in, though, was we didn't really have a lot of good options nearby. Haunted Mansion jumped right up to 30 minutes. We would have probably been a 20-25 minute wait there at least. Big Thunder Mountain and Tiana also got a rush of people. So we didn't really have a good nearby option. If I had it to do over, I probably would have at least continued further into Fantasyland and done Winnie the Pooh or Mad Tea Party, both of which have pretty short waits right now. So that's actually what we're gonna go ahead and do. We're gonna pivot. And really, that's an important lesson to learn no matter what you're doing at Disney World. Sometimes things don't go the way you're expecting them to go. And when that happens, you just need to pivot. You need to make a quick plan B. And in this case, the weather is cooperating. I think we're going to be fine to see the second show of the Villain Spectacular instead. And the benefit of that is it's right after fireworks. So we'll be able to do fireworks and then right into Villain Spectacular. And once we're done with that, the rest of the night is dedicated to rides and whatever other mischief we want to get up to. So I think this may work out for the best in the end, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to head on to our next ride, Winnie the Pooh. We got the first of our ride overlays done, Mad Tea Party. If you've never done Mad Tea Party during one of these events, they basically put on a special light show and there's music. The other attractions, of course, that have overlays are Space Mountain, which that one, it's gonna be kind of dark inside, completely dark. And there's gonna be a new soundtrack, kind of spooky music. Over at Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor, it's going to be kind of an abbreviated version of the show that you can experience while you go through and trick or treat. The Haunted Mansion doesn't technically have an overlay, but the exterior of that attraction is lit beautifully for the party. There's usually some smoke and fog effects, so you really want to wait and do that one after dark. Also, historically, they've had some ghostly ghouls hanging around the entrance to the attraction. I don't know that they're back this year, but I would bet that they probably are. I'm hoping that we're gonna make it over there to find out. But right now, we're doing something a little unorthodox. We're gonna break our plan again. We're about 15 minutes away from fireworks. And as you can probably tell, we are not walking towards the fireworks. That's because right now there's a posted 20-minute wait on Tron, which is likely because most folks are over there to watch fireworks. For our goal tonight though, we want to do rides. We're all about the rides, and Tron is the biggest ticket ride in this park. I'm willing to be a little bit late to fireworks if we can cross this super big ticket ride off of our list. And you might be wondering why it is that we haven't done some of the bigger ticket rides. That's because as you get later into this event, those wait times fall. And so rather than spending a lot of time in line for those attractions, we're hoping that we're gonna be able to burn through them more quickly. Only one way to find out if we're right though. Let's hop aboard Tron and hope that wait is 20 minutes or less. I gotta be honest, when we walked up here and I saw the line was backed up so far, I was skeptical that this is gonna be a 20-minute wait, but I'm looking up ahead. It looks like all the switchbacks have been removed. Obviously there's no lightning lane, which makes a big difference. I don't know. Maybe this is what a 20-minute line looks like at the party. We're about to find out. Unfortunately, that posted 20 has jumped up to a posted 30. We're not even in the inside queue yet and the fireworks have started. So I think we've essentially traded Tron for the fireworks. I don't think we're gonna see any of them probably. That's what the fireworks would have looked like if we had made it in time to see the fireworks. Unfortunately, we had a 38-minute wait on a posted 20 for Tron. That was definitely a major miscalculation. I'm gonna say more on Disney's part than our part, but either way, that was a miscalculation. The good news is I do think we're gonna make it in time for the Villain Spectacular. And once we see that show, it's just rides, rides, rides until the end of the night.
It is All Hallows Eve, our favorite time of year. Yes, remember what happened on our last Halloween?
We turned to dust. Dust, 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 dust.
Oh, do not remind me.
Sorry, Minnie.
That is why we have returned. To celebrate Halloween and to throw the most villainous Halloween party this kingdom has ever seen.
And I got friends on the other side.
Well, well, well. What have we here?
Seen so many frightful friends in one place! Is this what it's like to be popular?
I put a spell on you. And now you're mine.
It's been 300 years, right down to the day. Now the witch is back. And there's heck I put a spell on you. And now
That is such a great show. But right now, we have 1 hour of party time left. And we have 4 attractions I really want to do tonight. I definitely want to ride Big Thunder Mountain. While I'm over here, I'd love it if we could do Haunted Mansion. That's another one I really want to check off the list. And then, of course, there's Space Mountain, because that one has an overlay. And if we can manage it, I'd love to end the night at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. But that's a lot to cram into 1 hour of park time. So we might have to make some compromises, but let's see how much we can get done.
Ghostess with the mostest, Lady Renata!
Thank you very much. Thank you, one live human body that's clappy.
Well, the sheriff is happy to meet you.
Oh, a picture we couldn't.
And consider this dismaying observation. This chamber has no windows and no doors.
That was terrifying. And no, I don't mean racing over to our final attraction with just 1 minute to spare. That was a little nerve-wracking, but we made it with a minute to spare. No, I mean Space Mountain. It is truly terrifying when that ride is pitch black. Sometimes when you ride it, it's actually not truly pitch black. Sometimes, I don't know, there's like a light leak from somewhere, but this time, there was no light anywhere. I mean, there were the infrared camera lights, but they weren't really illuminating anything. So you just have no idea at any moment when you're gonna get whipped in one direction or another. I don't know. I've ridden Space Mountain many times. I've ridden that version before, and that was the most terrifying ride on Space Mountain I've ever ridden. So if you're a big fan of thrills, put that on your must-do list. But we have made it to our final ride of the night, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Really, other than Tiana's Bayou Adventure, this is the only major ride we had left. We rode pretty much everything there is to ride here in Magic Kingdom. If you had a different favorite that we didn't cover, you could easily swap it in. But as you can tell from this video, you can definitely do a lot of rides in this party if that's your goal. I will say this though, for me, I prefer a party night that isn't as focused on doing rides. I think there's a lot to be said for enjoying the little small moments that happen here at Not So Scary, the trick-or-treat stops, the unique character meet and greets, even the PhotoPass photos that you can get that are only available at this event. So I would say if you are planning your perfect night, yes, rides can be a big part of it, but I would just pick maybe 5 or so rides that are most important to you and enjoy the rest of the night doing all the other things that Not So Scary has to offer. But if you're determined to do rides, as you can see, it is very doable. So we've got a 35-minute posted wait here. I did check just to show you what the wait times look like at the very end of the night. And the only attractions in this park that had any wait at all were Seven Dwarfs Mine Train with 35 minutes and Tron with 60 minutes. I'm also really glad that we did Peter Pan's Flight. Even though I was questioning that decision earlier, apparently it went down. So if we had not done that earlier, we probably wouldn't have gotten to ride it. But for right now, let's just enjoy this final ride of the night, and I will meet you at the front of the park. Rides. That's how many rides we were able to do here at Magic Kingdom during the time you're allowed to be here with a party ticket. And to be honest, we certainly could have done a few more if we had skipped things like the stage show or the parade. But for me, I think that's the heart of what this event is all about. So I don't recommend skipping those things just to fit in a few more rides. I would say prioritize the rides that matter most to you, but don't skip out on the magical things that make Not So Scary so magical. Now, of course, this video was all about rides. That was our laser focus, but I encourage you to check out some of our videos from previous years to see all the other amazing things you can do at this party. Before we go, I do want to give a huge thank you to our Patreon family. Thank you so much for supporting what we do here at Ear Scouts and for helping us to pick out the foods we were going to eat tonight. If you'd like to join them and get access to exclusive bonus content, head on over to patreon.com/earscouts. And of course, I'd like to thank all of you. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, help us out by giving it a like, subscribing to our channel, and ringing that bell. That way you'll be notified whenever new videos like this come out. Until next time, don't forget to think happy thoughts, everybody. We'll see you again real soon.